bit different. Welcome to round one of the Welsh XC series up in Builth, Wales. Hopefully that music ain't going to copyright me, so I might do another one just in case. Racing in the Jif colours today for XC. Joined them for some coaching up MV on a Saturday afternoon. We can't film because of UCI British Cycling regulations, but we can do a preview, and then Alison and Maddie will be catching the course side footage as we go. So wish me well. Have you done an XC or any other race? How'd you fare? This is going to be pain and punishment, but hopefully we're going to enjoy it. So join me for a preview, and then we'll catch you on the way round. Cheers, guys. So that was the plan, but what actually happened? What actually happened was I went off and did the preview lap, which we're about to go through together. I'll add a bit of commentary, see how that goes. And I gave Al probably all of 3 seconds of tutorial on how to use a GoPro, which basically consisted of press the top button, it's set up, and it'll just start recording, press it again and it'll stop recording. Simple as that. Right, gotta go, race is about to start, see you later, good luck. I hadn't realised that press it once basically shoots off time lapse. Press it and hold it for a couple of seconds starts the one-touch video recording. And I always wondered why every now and then I get random burst of 5 or 6 photos and then the video. And I've got used to listening for the bleeps. Again, I didn't pass that information on, so yeah, poor start, poor setup. We'll correct that for the next one. But I basically ended up with no race action other than some stuff on Al's phone, which doesn't really translate well into the video, and about 1,000 photographs, which I then subsequently deleted. Yeah, so didn't go well. And this is like 2 days later, so I was tampering with myself for doing it. Girls weren't happy that I did it, especially they spent the best part of an hour and a half watching the race and changing angles and getting all the footage. So I've apologised, done a bit of crawling, and she was going to film. Al was going to film me on the Need for Speed using the big SLR and the GoPro. Yeah, I got a bit of crawling to do before I suggest doing that. But anyways, so what we're going to do? We've got some preview footage, which I'll see if we can do some running commentary on to try and bring it alive. And get back into the action. Cheers, guys. So we just passed the start finish straight and we're into the course. Off camber looseness. Pretty much started dead last out of the, I think it was 12 in my category. We all set off at different stages. Sport Elite and the best juniors first, then I think it was Sport and Fun category, then us, the Vets, a minute later Grand Vets, and a minute after them Super Vets. And this is the first proper climb. Just go 80%, he said. Go on, I'm going to take your advice. Yeah, 80%. I wish I had 80% in my legs. 100% wouldn't have kept me with the group. Basically, this was the first climb, and as we hit it, I just kind of watched them all ride away from me. And then towards the top, on the left, the single track comes down in those trees, so I basically saw everybody coming back down the hill as I was still getting to the top, which was a good start. But yeah, locked the suspension, unlocked it, ready for the descent and a bit of fun. So remember, this is the preview. We're taking our time, just scoping out the trails, seeing what it's about, and basically it was one line all the way around. Once you're on the downhills, there was no passing. To be honest, I didn't really see that many anyway to pass. A bit nibbly, a bit tacky. Nice little jump there, we ride around. I don't want to be hitting any jumps. This corner I tried to straight line it on the race, but I clipped me bars going through the trees, so I then resorted to going back around the corner, as it was taped pretty wide. So it was all good. Oh, it's a derailleur breaker. Slightly off camber in here, but good grip. Good bit of fun. It's just, I don't know, I suppose hard to keep your flow going, whether you're pushing a bigger gear or just standing on your pedals trying to have a rest. Round this bend, it's going to be quite slow through here. A bit more off camber and slightly uphill then. did pass. I think I did pass a couple of guys in the race here, but you're never sure whether they're in your race, i.e. the vets, or did they start behind you as a grand vet, therefore you were just undertaking them because they'd already come past you.
The puddle's still there.
So it was all a bit confusing really. Once you're underway, you just keep going, try your best. I suppose if you're at the front, you know what's going on with the lead. And again, these steep kicker sprints of the hills, there was about, I think it was 5 long grindy hills like this one and the ones with the trees.
Yeah, a bit of a techie start there. Nice.
And probably about
climb, sort you out.
6 little sharp sprinty climbs where you've got to be in the right gear, sprinting into it to carry speed to basically get you up the hill, and maybe change down a couple on the way up. All happens in a couple of seconds, and then carry the speed over the top of the crest and onto the flat. Again, unlocking suspension, and I forgot on one of the laps to do it in this point, so I came down here locked out at one point thinking, God, that felt a bit rougher. So yeah, as you get tired as the race goes on, I suppose you make mistakes, and that was one of them, leaving the suspension locked. But good fun, and to be fair, on the downhills I kind of kept my station, didn't lose any spaces, gained a bit on people in front of me at the time. I suppose it was on those hills and on these traverses, quite techy traverses, it's undulating. I found it hard to push or to hold any speed. I'm not sure whether it was the gearing or just I was getting bucked on the back tyre on the hardtail, and my feet were bouncing a bit on the pedals. So I don't know if maybe clipped in would have helped a bit. Obviously fitter would have helped as well. And here's one of them little draggy climbs, quick down. And then I thought, on the warm-up, I thought, oh, this will be a bit where everybody will be sprinting, trying to get past each other, trying to make up ground. I pretty much didn't see anybody along there. I mean, at the head of the race, maybe they did, but where I was, it was a bit more sedate. Again, I think as the race went on, sort of catch your breath here, really. Come round another gravel grind. And then a couple of short sharp, you really got to power into these to get up and over in the right gear. I went up there a bit slow one time and ground to a halt. You just lose all your speed.
Person going up there.
Starting to blow now, and this is the warm-up lap. You know, this is supposed to be taking it easy. I had the Enduro race on Wednesday, this is Sunday, so a few days later. I also did a few little hardtail rides in Castle Cork on the Friday and the Saturday. No excuses, but during the race I lost concentration and turned right here along the gravel grind where I should have gone left here, so I went the wrong way at one point. Lack of concentration, or maybe I was more tired than I thought.
Wow, well, it all seems pretty calm at the moment, but I guess when you've got a dozen guys pushing for the racing line.
Yeah, another
Gotta get a bit hectic.
Gravel sprint really, trying to get your speed up, ready for this long one. This one was a bit longer, not so sharp, but again, if you just don't quite make it, you lose all your speed, you're in the wrong gear, your legs are howling and burning, and you're straight into these tight techie turns, trying to keep your speed up. And this is probably the two more challenging techie A-line, B-line areas. I think on one of the laps I did manage to overtake a couple of guys. They chose the B-line, I took the A-line. It was a small victory, let's say.
Very nice techie.
Wasn't even sure if they were in the same race as me.
Equally the dirt's still a bit wet and greasy over the rocks.
I guess for the spectators this was the pit to watch, because this is where all the carnage was probably going to happen. As I say, for me, I came through here pretty much always on my own, so I had time to get the right line, nobody pushing me or rushing me. But yeah, it was quite interesting on a 100mm hardtail compared to the Enduro bike.
So a couple of A-line, B-lines, A-line quicker. Definitely different on a 100mm hardtail.
Yep.
Give me the G160.
Yeah, great for that little
I've
5
had a
second
bit
down,
of,
but not for the rest of the lap.
Pace and race into that, and that's going to get a bit sketch.
So typical, a quick steep shoot down, quick turn, and then into another A-line, B-line with a drop on the A-line, which I took every time, so I was quite happy with that, with the downhill bits. Start finish on the right there, so another gravel grind, another couple of steeps. I think overall I
A couple of A's and B's.
was just holding back a bit for the 6 laps. I think on lap 5 I got called in because the winner of the vets lapped me at some point, don't know when, so I only managed to get 5 laps in before they called my race, as opposed to the full 6. So yeah, a bit more in there, could have gone harder. A good lesson for the next one.
Yo Dad, what do you want to say to everybody, your fans?
Thanks for your support. Great to see you out and about, all the cheers, and if you do see me at any events or out and about, please come up, say hello, get yourself a shout on the channel, or not if you don't want to be on video, yeah, thanks a lot guys.
So we're going to the podiums now, so we're just...
And big smiles and arms.
Alright guys, that's our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it and support Jif. Make sure to subscribe, like this video and turn on notifications on. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, comment down below if you did it in that time. To the next one.